Well, the Wall Street Journal sure overhyped a major big story that essentially was a big nothing burger.
And here we go. I hope you're hungry for nothing.
This as, holy frickin' cow, Donald Trump actually promised some releases now. Yes, you heard that correctly, as Pam Bondi has confirmed the story and will be releasing sealed testimony from the grand jury indictment. This as now, did we win? Did we get our way here? That's the question that we are going to be asking ourselves during this particular video, as this story is fast moving. There's a lot of fake news, a lot of disinformation. A lot of people are saying, hey, where's the special counsel investigation? Then there's no special counsel investigation, but now we get some disclosures as Congress now is sniffing in actually all the right places, which is pretty surprising here, as there might be a financial disclosure here, which I think would be absolutely bombastic, to say the least here. Now, if you appreciate these type of nuanced conversations that go deep down the rabbit hole, subscribe. Click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time you spend with us, as of course we have the Wall Street Journal bombshell that never was. What did they have? As the story was kind of built up as a major story, as we were getting reports, as we were hearing scuttlebutts of, oh man, this is going to be big, this is going to be huge. We heard a lot of people who wanted it to be true already kind of prematurely celebrate this. And we found out that Donald Trump was calling the Wall Street Journal editor in order to block this particular story. As we heard people say, breaking, White House is reportedly pressuring the Wall Street Journal over a potential explosive story about Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, there's been a bunch of stories that have been nerfed and destroyed surrounding Jeffrey Epstein. There were major news networks that were pressured, some by the royal family, and did not release the pieces and investigative journalism that they had surrounding this. And we had Amy Robosh in that famous James O'Keefe Project Veritas video talking about we had everybody, we had Clinton. And of course, those tapes, those interviews, that piece of investigative journalism never made it to light because it looked like Disney wanted to, of course, keep good relationships with the royal family so they could do more Meghan Markle stuff. So I was kind of thinking as the story's breaking here, well, you know, Trump is calling them, so it kind of has to be major here, to be quite honest, with all of you guys. And I'm like, hey, the corporate media usually acquiesces here. Will they acquiesce to Donald Trump just like they did to the royal family? Nope, they did not. And they released the story. The story is essentially a big nothing burger, in my personal opinion. The Wall Street Journal just dropped a story that Trump desperately wanted to, quote, buried. Well, if the president of the United States calls you and says like, hey, can you not publish this? You still publish this, but you don't publish it for the royal family? Not these guys, but the other mainstream media. It does highlight how they tried to, of course, piss off Donald Trump here and didn't care about his power, which kind of signals something interesting here in my personal opinion here. This, as what they had, was a 2003 birthday letter to Jeffrey Epstein that has a hand-drawn lady on it with some big old bazongas, and his signature is placed around her fupa area, and the letter reads, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." There's other things in there that are a little bit bizarre, but a lot of people are saying this doesn't look like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is denying all of this. He is now suing the Wall Street Journal, as he has announced that he will be doing. And then the other things in this text that are just weird. It's like written like a kind of a dyslexic Riri wannabe liberal poet saying, those 7 words written before Epstein's first arrest demolish Trump's narrative of middle contact. I don't know if they do. Trump said he didn't talk to Epstein for 15 years. 15 years minus now, right, is 2010. This is all the way back in 2003. As we know, they were friends. They were friends for quite a while. There's no denying that. There's no lying about that. And they say the intimate tone, shared secrets, the bizarre imagery. This isn't how acquaintances communicate. Trump's response. This is what the Wall Street Journal was saying. That's a stretch here. Okay, listen. If you're like, we got the big bombshell on Trump. Trump's calling to stop it. I'm like, maybe they got a tape. Maybe they got a video. Maybe there's something that I haven't seen here. Maybe there's something that was leaked. You got a birthday letter that Trump is denying. And listen, I kind of believe Donald Trump on this one, to be quite honest with you, because the Wall Street Journal does publish a lot of fake news, a lot of lies. So does the corporate media out there. Now, we'll talk about the responses there from a lot of people here, all around here. But again, big story that is nothing, as Trump just said. As Trump posted, Trump will be suing the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Murdoch shortly. And it looks like he decided to call them to let them know, hey, don't publish this. This is fake news. They decided to publish anyway, which, of course, will play well in the court proceedings, as J.D. Vance had a very interesting kind of reaction to all of this before talking about that and a lot more. We wanted to tell you about LukeUnfiltered.com, as we're going to be doing a meetup in Poland, in Gdańsk, August 1st. I don't know if anyone's going to come. I don't know if we have a lot of people there, but I want to do something, and it sounds fun. So if you want to come, RSVP. If no one RSVPs, we're not. I'm just going to hang out, but in town myself. But I'm going back to the motherland. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos and content showing you Poland, what it's like, my culture, my people, and everything surrounding just everyday life in Poland now. As a lot of people now are fleeing Germany that used to go from Poland to Germany, since Germany is pretty wild. Germany has a big migrant crisis and a big crime crisis for some strange reason. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that they're just replacing their population with sub-Saharan Africans? And then they got so many problems. Who would have thought that would happen here? Poland, though, the prime minister there is trying to implement the same problems. So there's a lot of interesting stuff happening here. So I'll be documenting all of that. Plus, I had someone close to me pass away, so I got to go pay my respects. Your support on LukeUnfiltered.com means a lot to me. Again, doing this stuff is not easy. It's not cheap. And your support really, I mean, if it wasn't for your support, I wouldn't be here. I would be living underneath a bridge. And then one of the major reasons I'm not living underneath the bridge is because of LukeUnfiltered.com. We got demonetized, and then after we got demonetized, we lost our shirt store. Now we're remonetized. Now we launched another shirt store, but then we launched LukeUnfiltered.com after being attacked from multiple vectors. And again, in real life meetups, we're going to do a history nature walk in Gdańsk, Poland, August 1st. If you want to be a part of that, sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. 20 cents a day. Check your spam to make sure you're there. And then I'm trying to foment the building of this kind of community. We're trying to bring people together. If you want that to happen too, sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. Your support needed now more than ever. And we greatly, greatly, of course, appreciate it. Now, J.D. Vance responded to this Wall Street Journal story saying, "Forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bullish. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed for publishing it. Where's this letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump?" And even Elon Musk came out. And he's been at odds with Donald Trump here and said, this bombshell story, this body letter from Epstein, it doesn't, quote, sound like something Trump would say, to be honest. So even his arch nemesis now, it's like, hey, the fake news attacks on him are getting a little bit ridiculous. And then even Michael Tracy, who's not a Donald Trump fan, says, if this is really what Trump is so angry about, it's even more ridiculous than expected. He sent Epstein a goofy birthday letter with a drawing of a lady with bazongas. Who cares? Exactly. I think that's been the response from everyone here. As, of course, seeing this happen, it's extremely favorable towards Donald Trump here. Now, I think Milo had an interesting kind of take on all of this, as his take here was pretty eye-opening here. As he says, obviously, fictional misfire like this from a major news organization, incredible, just incredible. There's some things we can't say here. Critical blank theory might be a central plank of MAGA, but so is enemy of the people. The one thing that might just rally MAGA around the president again is a dunder-headed, obviously fictional misfire like this one from a major news organization. Incredible, just incredible. And he's right. As Donald Trump has taken this momentum after being attacked by the fake news, and again, the fake news essentially giving Donald Trump a layup here, and Donald Trump's like, okay, I heard you guys, and he says, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all permanent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam perpetrated by the Democrats should end right now. And it ends with him disclosing and releasing everything. Now, grand jury documents are just one thing, but we're getting started here. Pam Bondi just announced, yep, we're going to be releasing some of the grand jury files, some of which might be unsealed by a court. Great. Awesome. There's still a lot more files, a lot more evidence from the FBI, a lot more testimony, a lot more kind of court records and sealed records that I hope, now the onus is not on Donald Trump like it used to be. There still is a significant portion of it, but overwhelmingly, vast majority of it now is on Pam Bondi to see if this is actually going to be released or not. Now, listen, this is a fascinating turn here because there's also other members of Congress that are also digging into some things that might be pretty explosive here. But this kind of turn of events here is really interesting, as of course, we have to remember there's a lot of people telling us, stop talking about the Epstein files. Well, we didn't, and it looks like Donald Trump listened to us. There's a lesson to be learned here from that. People are like, move on. Cat Turbo like, shut up. Stop it. Stop talking about it. Stop it. We didn't. Donald Trump said, stop it. Donald Trump said, you're not MAGA. You're not my supporter. You're working for the Democrats. You're a weakling. You're stupid. You're foolish. We didn't let up. And now he is understanding, yeah, this is pretty big here. I am going to release some of the documents here. Now, the people who are attacking me and other people like Owen Schroyer here definitely, I think, have something to learn from here. As, of course, the trajectory of all this. I mean, we literally went from, we're releasing it, phase 1, to, there's nothing to see here, to, oh, it's all Democrats. Oh, it's all a hoax. Oh, you're stupid. You're crazy. You're a weakling. Oh, really some of the testimony has this kind of turn of events here within the last few couple months. It's fairly significant. Now, why is it happening? I would argue that the temperature in the room is just getting too hot. And the Democrats are using this for their own political savviness, for their own political counter gravitas that they're building up here. As, of course, we have now Senator Ron Wyden, who has come out and revealed that a single Jeffrey Epstein-linked bank account, and he had multiple ones, moved nearly $1.1 billion through 4,725 wire transactions. Now, everyone was telling us, oh, yeah, Epstein got his money through Wall Street. You interviewed everyone on Wall Street, be like, have you heard of Epstein? Nope. How did Epstein get his money? All the banking institutions like, didn't do nothing. I don't know. Didn't do nothing. Just magically came in there? How does that make sense? Where did that money come from? As, of course, there's reports of money being moved in and out of that bank after he allegedly met his end here. Now, where was $1 billion? And this is just in one of them. This is another kind of layer to the story that I think is important to understand here. He wasn't just a procurer of children. As Bill Gates even talked about before, he was able to procure funding and money for projects as he was working on a eugenics operation. That's an actual thing that he was working on in Zorro Ranch in Nevada, where he planned to impregnate 30 people all at once. Now, where that money come from, where that money was flowing, I want to know. He invented in Peter Thiel's company an investment worth hundreds of millions of dollars right now. That's a lot of money. As we have Senator Ron Wyden now talking about, hey, we're soon going to have some disclosures, which Donald Trump might be getting out ahead of.
There is an Epstein file down there at the Treasury Department, and it ought to be used as the foundation for a follow the money investigation. The reality is, you build a sex trafficking operation of the size that we know this was, there's a tremendous amount of money moving.
Yep.
And it ought to be followed up to see how it was handled.
Can you sort of touch on just the key findings in this most recent tranche of revelations that you guys have put out?
Well, the key finding, of course, is that this is all about sex trafficking.
But
and you can't run a sex
trafficking
operation of this size without an enormous amount of money. And what we have shown is there are very substantial questions about whether that money was handled in an ethical and honest way.
yeah, it wasn't. All the big financial institutions were in bed with Epstein to the point where there was no rules. There was no regulations. It was like, hey, we're just going to move huge sums of money here, and we're going to move it here. You would think people, they have to pay taxes when you move that much money. When you get that much money, you got to pay taxes. Jeffrey Epstein, exempt from all of that, right? You would think the IRS that just came after me and almost destroyed me, almost put me under a bridge last year. You would think the IRS that took away everything from me last year, money hungry, bloodthirsty vampire, son of a mother. You would think those horrible son of a bees at the IRS would be going after Epstein, be like, oh yeah, we gotta get our cut here. We got to get our money. Nope. And the fact that we still haven't understood the larger kind of financial ramifications of this all, because again, this guy didn't just procure children. He provided funding, financing. He was in Harvard. He had his own office at Harvard where teenagers were running around. What's Harvard doing with him? What was Bill Gates doing with him? What is Peter Thiel doing with him? Where was he moving all of his money? As this is big news here, and listen, Donald Trump is finally opening up to the possibility of releasing some of the stuff. Now again, this is not a special investigation. There needs to be a special investigation. It looks like he said there's going to be no special investigation today. Now he came out and said, okay, we'll release some of the grand jury testimony. Okay, we get something. Let's see what it is. But if it's nothing of consequence, then people are going to be unsatisfied. People want consequences for predators out there that are hurting children. We were promised that Donald Trump was going to go after the very rich and powerful people, individuals like Reid Hoffman, individuals like Bill Gates, individuals that are still playing a major role in our current society, that have played a major role in all of the major efforts that are predominantly against MAGA, predominantly against Donald Trump here. Now, this is big news here. And will this be, for me, I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. If I had to choose between the disclosures I want, and if I had to choose between Trump's grand jury, because the grand jury thing was done so poorly. This was done by Maureen Comey. All right. All the cases that were done by in Epstein and federal court were cover-up efforts that made sure to obfuscate the extremely powerful people that were involved in them. That made sure that they did it in a way where it was just done to make sure there wasn't going to be any major disclosures to the general public. Okay. And if there was, it was dialed down. It was done in a way where it was predominantly a cover-up effort and a silencing effort. And I think that's exactly what happened to Epstein. And I think that's exactly what happened to Maxwell, who was in jail. I say bring Maureen Comey, who, by the way, also was the main prosecutor in the cellmate of Jeffrey Epstein, have her testify under oath. As right now, if I had to choose whether I'm most excited about this grand jury testimony that's going to be released or this one by Ron Wyden, I hate to say it, but Ron Wyden here takes the cake here. This guy, he's onto something big. I'm following this a lot closer than I am following the grand jury testimony. We'll see what they release with the grand jury testimony, but that's just one out of multiple pieces of information. What really, look, if Donald Trump really wants this problem to go away, he goes to Tulsi Gabbard, his DNI head, and he says, Tulsi, you're the director of national intelligence, okay? Get all the receipts from all of them and get all the records from all of them, and then let's do a declassification. Let's tell everybody exactly what Epstein was doing, since, of course, he was intel, and that's why we're not getting a lot of this. And he was intel for a lot of other countries. Now, who are these people that Epstein wired money to? The 4,725 wires? When we find that out, I think then we're going to get closer to the disclosures here. So far, people are making depictions based off what I've been kind of describing here as the situation. So far, look, the ring is still on Trump's finger, right? But he moved it a little bit up, right? He still has a ways to go before he takes the ring off and before he throws it into the fire. He still has a long way to go. I'm happy he's going. He's like, maybe I should take it off. He's like looking at the reflection, like, oh man. And I think it also has a negative effect on his health. And I think he absolutely mishandled this. And I think he might be trying to do the right thing. And I pray that he does. If you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. It means a lot to me when you do. And sincerely, thank you so much for being a part of independent media.